So I've been really behind on things. I guess you probably won't notice from the videos coming out, as you know, I have a full-time job, so my ability to put out videos consistently or in a very quick time, especially for new games and trying to keep them up to date, is always going to be fairly slow, really, because of having only a few hours a day to record, and then also at the same time having only a few hours to render those videos and then upload them and deal with that stuff. And I spend probably too much time fucking around making thumbnails, but I want the thumbnails to look kind of like eye-catching, and I can't always do that. I'm not the best at Photoshop and things like that, but I try. But I've been diagnosed with COVID, so as I have COVID, I'm a little under the weather. I'm not too bad, nowhere near as bad as some people have had it. It's extremely mild for me, really. However, very fatigued. It has made me very tired, and I've had to sleep quite a lot more than normal, except for when you should actually sleep, and then I have broken sleep, of course. That's always the way of things. But it's interrupted things. Like, if you listen to the podcast, you'll realise the podcast hasn't been... well, it's behind. I haven't had time to edit the one we did record, and I've not been able to record anymore. My coughing has subsided quite a bit. I'm not sneezing as much. So when we do get around to recording, it should be okay. But you can't really record if you're coughing all the time and sneezing, making a sound, making a mess of it. Too much of a hard work in editing for me. So yeah, behind on that. So yeah, I just thought I'd upload a video explaining why, just to keep anybody in the loop. I don't have a lot of subscribers or viewers, but those that do watch it, I thought you probably should be updated just to find out what's going on. You know what? If you're worried about COVID and tests and things like that for it, it's not as bad as people say. If you are in the range of people that are in like danger zones, then yeah. But I mean, try not to panic, I would say. If you get it, you'll probably be okay. Just like stay away from other people, really. And hopefully you'll be fine. And we're in the UK, and you have these tests where you gotta stick a giant cotton swab down the back of your throat and up your nose. And the way people talk about it, it sounds horrific, but again, it's not as bad as people say. So, if you need tested, get tested. It's not the end of the world. It's not too bad, honestly. So, yeah, if you need to be tested, don't worry about it. And if you get COVID, don't panic about it. Hopefully you'll be okay. And a lot of people are getting milder symptoms. If you do get bad symptoms, then make sure you phone up for an ambulance or speak to a doctor or something. I don't know, it's hard because you're not supposed to go anywhere. So, and so, like for me, I didn't even realise I had it. I just got tested for precautions. I didn't really have any of the symptoms they suggested you're supposed to have with COVID, so it can just sneak up on you. But yeah, I thought I'd upload a video, and it's just me learning how to play Freddy Krueger, the Nightmare, in Dead by Daylight. I'm pretty bad at it. I mean, this is the first time I've ever played with the Nightmare, really, with Freddy. But it's quite cool. I quite like it. I love Dead by Daylight. I'm not very good at it, but I find it a lot of fun. I think it's probably my favourite kind of like PvP game. Survivors can be a little salty and trolly at times, but for the most part, you find yourself a nice little group of people, even through randos, through randomly playing, and it can be a lot of fun. It can be frustrating if you're new to the killer, or the other people are just straight up outplaying you. But I'm not really sure there's anything they can really do about that. But yeah, I'm having fun. And hopefully I can get Cyberpunk out as quickly as possible. I want to play some of the Ubisoft games because I bought their Uplay Connect thing, and then I got COVID. And so it's like, oh, it feels like I'm wasting that time. So I need to get around on playing that. Otherwise, that's a big waste of money, which I can't really afford right now with everything that's going on. I saw that there's going to be a bunch of changes to Dead by Daylight, which seems interesting. They're doing a bunch of map reworks and changes to colours. I haven't been playing for very long, maybe almost a year, perhaps, on and off. Only within the last maybe few months have I really been playing a lot of the game. So the changes to the colours aren't probably going to make a massive amount of difference because I haven't played that many. But I'm glad to see that they put a lot of effort into this game. And the community seems pretty decent. I've been watching a bunch of people on YouTube playing through the game. People who actually have skill in playing it. And yeah, I mean, the tips and tricks that you can learn from the game is really, really cool. I know, I'm just blathering on. I don't know what to say, really. Well, we can always hope that CD Projekt Red put the same kind of effort into Cyberpunk and get that all fixed up. It's kind of funny though, because people, I've seen some funny videos where people are comparing GTA 5 with Cyberpunk. They're not quite the same game really, and like Rockstar are pretty well renowned for putting way too much polish into things. So I don't think there's any game really that's going to have as much polish as a Rockstar game. I mean, the amount of detail they put into it is crazy. In a really good way. But I don't think you're ever going to get a game, any other game that's going to compare other than another Rockstar game. Like, there's no excuse for the buggy mess that was Cyberpunk, but I mean, I think maybe the comparison's a bit wrong. And you don't really have an open world sort of RPG, because Cyberpunk is sort of an RPG. It doesn't feel it doesn't feel fleshed out enough to be a true RPG, in my opinion. And I think that's down to them cutting content a lot. Like the life paths were extremely cut down. Like, it feels like they were supposed to have been a bigger path, but they weren't. And my brain is fucking failing me, but I'm pretty sure there was loads of other things they were supposed to have had. I think I might actually have a list I'll quickly look up. I probably should save this for when I talk about it onto the Cyberpunk podcast, but I'm talking about it now, so deal with it. As you can tell, I'm kind of in a stroppy kind of mood because I'm kind of ill. I haven't eaten yet or taken like flu medicine, so I will feel a lot better after that. I don't know, for some reason I feel like I should record, so that's what I'm doing. Where's Cyberpunk? So I have a bunch of notes because my memory always fails me. because I'm old and stuff. Yeah, I mean, the game was supposed to have these life paths. It was supposed to have been this big like vertical city. Like there's elements of the vertical city, like you can find random elevators strewn about the place that if you take up, you can go to like areas you wouldn't ordinarily be able to access. But like they're so tiny and they're so like out of the way. It doesn't make the world feel particularly vertical. Like it doesn't feel any more vertical than the Saints Row or GTA 5 game. So like visually it does, because you've got all these skyscrapers everywhere. Now if you could go exploring those skyscrapers or had more to do with them, like, because that's kind of what I thought when we first arrived in V's like apartment, like mega block. I thought we'd be able to see a lot more floors on there and interact with a lot more floors on there. I thought that's what they meant by verticality in the city, and that you'd have the whole the new Dread movie where you're having to go up different floors, and you'd have things like that and block walls and stuff from like Judge Dredd, but it didn't really come to pass. And it just feels like it's mainly like a GTA game where you're just driving in a vehicle from A to B and doing a mission where you kill a bunch of people. Like some missions are different, but it doesn't really feel like that. And it felt like the hacking wasn't as prevalent as I thought it might have been. Like I thought the hacking would be a lot more involved and you'd be able to do some crazy stuff. But not really, it's mainly like just stealth. You want to do a little bit of stealth? Okay. And then you've got to use a bunch of implants to get around stealth, because I don't think the AI is really up to it. So it's like, it just feels like hype and marketing lies, unfortunately. Thank you for watching this video if you have watched it. And yeah, I'll be getting on with those videos. There's going to be a ton of Cyberpunk videos to come. And I've tried to separate them into missions. It's always been a bit tricky because some missions are super short and some are super long. But I hope you bear with me. Thank you for watching. I appreciate the support. Bye for now.